Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. We appreciate your love and your support. Keep sharing with your friends and family. This keeps us motivated to continue creating useful content for you. For those of you that want to transition into tech, please continue to engage and stay tuned to our channel. Subscribe to the channel, share our videos, like, comment. We really appreciate it. Today we'll be continuing on our Agile Talk series. By the way guys, if you've not caught up with our previous Agile Tech Talk series videos, kindly check the link above to watch those videos. It will really help you. We talked about sprint planning, backlog grooming, sprint review, and today we'll be continuing on the series, and we'll be talking about your sprint retrospective. This is a very important Agile ceremony, and the whole essence of this event is for the team to inspect progress, to be more effective, to identify areas for improvement. And join me as we talk and discuss about this. At the end of this video, you would have learned the purpose of the sprint retrospective meeting. You would understand the purpose of the meeting. You would know who the stakeholders are. You would know the tools used during the meeting to capture what points that will be going over in this video. And I would also give you a real life example, or like a case study example in this case, just to give you a sense of what we're really doing in sprint retrospective really. So join me as we continue on this. Thinking about the word retrospective, it really means reflecting on your past experience, right? And Agile is very big on that. We learn from your experience. So you break down your project into different bite sizes that you can actually churn out and release that useful value to your stakeholder or the company, as the case may be. So when we talk about sprint retrospective, we're trying to evaluate what we've done and what our experiences are in the previous sprints. If you followed our series, you understand what sprints are at this point. So basically, in this meeting, we want to increase effectiveness of the team. And how do we do that? We need to check back, right, to understand how we fared in the last piece of work or last sprint, as the case may be, and then retrospect in that sense. And then there's a framework for that. We generally ask 3 questions, right? And then we'll be diving into those questions. One of the questions is, what did we do well? We start with the positives. And then the second question we ask is, what could we have done better? And the third one is, any area for improvement that we, things that we can really improve on. And that's a very powerful tool or set of questions, to be able to evaluate and reflect on our previous performance. Now, let's talk about the stakeholders here. The stakeholders for the sprint retrospective is slightly different from, for example, your sprint review. Why? You have for this event, you have only the Scrum team in this case, because remember, we're implementing Scrum. So we have the stakeholders, the Scrum team, right? So we have the Scrum Master, the Product Owner, and the development team. The composition of the development team. The development team, are people that actually do the work, your UI, your developer, your tester, your DevOps engineer, as the case may be. So it's really about inspecting the work we've done in a bid to really improve. And then so we'll now be talking about how the process is run. What tools do we use? We use tools like collaboration tools like Confluence. We can use simple documentation tools just to capture those points I talked about earlier. So typical example would be, for example, if we are a Scrum team, right? We have Scrum team are cross-functional. You have different roles like your UI, I mentioned earlier, your UI guy, your backend guy, your tester, your maybe database, your DevOps, and everything you really need to deliver that piece of work. Supposing we were working on a bank application and we have worked on, say, fund transfer feature in the last sprint. Now, we would now be asking ourselves, what did we do well in the last sprint? We can say, typical example, all the development team members would talk about what they did well or what they think the team has done well. So we can talk about collaboration, we can talk about effectiveness, following development best practices. We can talk about we being able to meet the sprint goal and some of the things we did well. And then moving to the next question, which everybody in the team will have opportunity to talk about really. The next question is, what did we not do well, or we should have improved or done better? Anyhow you want to frame that question, but the whole idea is to talk about what we could have done better, and then we go and discuss those points, right? So we can say, we could have done estimation better, we could have identified dependencies better, and then those things will be documented in those tools I mentioned earlier. And then the last point we talk about is area for improvement. So we can identify areas of improvement and document that those points would help us, to really improve our performance in the next sprint. So when we would discuss those areas, those points of improvement and things we could have done well, and then try to improve on those points, before the next sprint. So in the next sprint, we would be very aware that these are things we need to do better and keep the good things. It's very important to emphasize on that. So that's really what happens in sprint retrospective meeting. And then this should be a practice for the Scrum team. You do this at the end of every sprint. This effectively closes the sprint. So it's very important that you do this in a bit to maintain productivity for the team and also be very effective and continuously improve. Now, what mindset should a Scrum team member have to attend a sprint retrospective meeting? Now, it's very important that every Scrum team member lives the Scrum values, which are openness. Now, you go to the meeting, you're expected to share your experience. Don't say there isn't anything for me to say, there's nothing that went well, there's nothing that didn't go well. Be open, communicate, right? Everybody has the opportunity to talk about what they feel, using that structure we mentioned earlier. Also, you need to be courageous, right? Scrum teaches that. Be courageous. Talk about what you think did not go well. You need to be respectful. Now, I'm going to talk about some of the don't when you attend a sprint retrospective. Do not name tag. Don't say, Tom, you didn't do the testing, or you delayed testing or delayed dev work, you pushed the code. No. Remember, in the Scrum, in sprint team, we fail together, we win together. When you come to the meeting, do not start calling people's name, and cause confusion. So it's very important that you don't name tag or name call. The next thing is be open, right? Talk about, all those points, what went well, what didn't go well, and areas for improvement. That would help everybody. So just generalize it, say it as it is, be transparent, be open, be respectful, trust people. Now that's all we have for this video, guys. To summarize, we've talked about the purpose of sprint retrospective meeting. We've also talked about the stakeholders, the tools, the do's and don'ts. That came out. Yeah, so please stay with us, guys, and watch out for the next video. We'll be talking about user story, continuing the Agile Tech Talk series, and catch you next video. Thank you so much.